Hello everyone and welcome to Mathematics Scolio. I'm back with another amazing question. The topic is expectation, and in this video we are going to see that how recurrence relation will help us in solving this beautiful question. So before proceeding, I would like to request all of you to please like the video, share it with your friends and fellow aspirants, and do subscribe to our channel. Chale, now let us start with the question. So let's read it. Jim the carpenter starts with a wooden rod of length 1 unit. Jim will cut the middle 1/3 of the rod and remove it, creating two smaller rods of length 1/3. He repeats this process randomly, choosing a rod to split into two smaller rods. Thus, after two such splits, Jim will have three rods of length 1/3, 1/9, 1/9. After three splits, Jim will either have four rods of length 1/9 each, or 1/3, 1/9, 1/27, 1/27. What is the expected value of? What is the expected value of the total length of the rods after five splits? Well, to explain the question, first of all, I'm just going to explain it to you. What they're saying is initially you have a rod of length 1 unit. So let this be the rod of length 1 unit. Now, Jim the carpenter will cut the middle 1/3 of the rod and remove it. So I'm just marking the 1/3 of the rod and then we are going to remove it. So we have removed it. That means after the first split, you are left out with two rods, each of length 1/3, right? So total length here that we are getting is 2/3. Total length of the rod that we are getting is 2/3. Coming to the second split. Abhi first split ke we are getting this thing. Now for the second split, what he is going to do, he will be selecting any one of these two rods. So it might be possible that he selected the first rod and then he is removing 1/3 from it. The second rod will remain as it is. Removing 1/3 from it means this is how he is going to remove. So you will be left out only with three rods. Two rods will be of length 1/9, 1/9. And the other one will be of length 1/3. It might also be possible that he had taken the second rod for splitting. Yani first rod will remain as it is, while the second rod will now be splitted, or 1/3 portion will be removed, and you will be left out with three rods of length 1/3, 1/9, 1/9. So basically same lengths we are left out in both these cases. Now, similarly, he is continuing the process. That means now in the third split, in the third round, he will be selecting any one of these three rods and will start splitting it. So suppose I'm considering this case. Agar ye wala case hum consider karte hain. So either he is going to split this 1/9 length of the rod like this. So I'm just removing this portion. So this will now be of length 1/27, 1/27. The next rod of length is 1/9 and the leftover rod is of length 1/3. So either he is going to get four rods of this kind, or it might be possible that he splitted the rod with the length 1/3. So in that situation, one rod of length 1/9, another of 1/9, and after removing 1/3 of this portion, again you will be left out with two more rods of length 1/9. That means how many cases of this type we will be getting? We will get this case with this situation. That means when he is splitting this rod, or he is splitting this rod, or he is splitting this rod, or he is splitting this rod. That means four such cases over here. And in this situation, how many cases we are going to get? Two such cases over here. That means when he is splitting either this rod or he is splitting this rod, right? So like this, he keeps on splitting. And then you have to find out exactly what is the total expected, or what is the expected value of the total length of the rods after five such splits. यानी तीन splits तक तो उन्होंने explain कर दिया है. You just have to go two steps further. That means fourth split के बाद क्या answer आएगा, and after the fifth split, what is going to be the answer? Well, what do you mean by the expected value of total length of the rod? So let me explain that also, because that will help me in solving the question. That will help me in understanding what exactly do we have to calculate in the question. So expected value of total length of the rod, I'm going to represent it with EI, where I is denoting the ith split. That means this is the expected value of total length of the rod after I splits. So if I say E0, what do you mean by E0? That means no splitting is done. So what is going to be the total length of the rod you are going to get? 1, right? Now, after one split, when you talk about one split, so you will be calculating E1. After one split, what is the mean value of total length of the rod? Okay, expected value means mean value. So what is going to be the mean value of total length of the rod? So after one split, you will be left out only with these two blocks. So these two blocks total give me 2/3 as the length. Now coming to E2, when you talk about E2, you actually have to go to the situation where you will be getting the rods after two splits. So this is what we have made here. You need to find out the mean value of total length of the rods after two splits. So either you are going to get the first situation or you are going to get the second situation. In the first situation, what is the total length of the rod? So when you evaluate this total length of the rod after the second split in the first case, what we are getting here is 1/9 plus 1/9 plus 1/3. That means it turns out to be 5/9. Similar is the case for the second one. That means this situation may also I'm getting the same answer. Total length of the rod is 5/9. But because you need to calculate its mean, you need to divide it by 2. Dividing it by 2 actually gives me the answer as 5/9. So I got the value of E2 as 5/9. I can also evaluate E3. So I'm going to evaluate E3 as well, because after that E4, E5, just that value we will be calculating. So calculating E3 means now what you have to consider, these situations you have to consider. Kitne cases ban rahe hain yahan pe? You will be getting 6 such cases, considering 4 cases over here. So what is the total length we are getting over here? This will be 1/27 plus 1/27 plus 1/9 plus 1/3. So it is actually 2/27 plus 3/27. That means 5/27 and plus 9/27. So 14/27 repeated 4 times. And plus, coming to the next case, this situation, 1/9 4 times. 1/9, 1/9, 1/9, 1/9. So this is like 4/9, but 2 such cases will be there. So I will be writing 2 into 4/9. We need to get the average, the mean value. So mean value of total length after the third split is going to be equals to 40 divided by 81. You can take this 2 common. You can cancel it from the denominator. Now you just solve the numerator and check what you are getting. So you will be getting it as 40 divided by 81. So E3 also we have calculated. The question is expecting us to calculate E5. What is going to be E5 in the question? That is what we have to do. Now see, one way of solving the question is keep taking the cases the way we have taken it over here, right? I explained it to you that after one split, you will get this. After 2 splits, this is the situation. After 3 splits, this is the situation. 6 such cases will be there. Now, after this, what is going to be the 4th situation? And after that, the 5th situation. वो 5th situation tak hi jana hai, and then you have to get the answer. So either you proceed like that, keep making the cases and then counting it, or otherwise, as I told you, we will be getting a relation between E5, E4, E3, and like that. Let us try to get a relation between E5 and the terms before it. उसके लिए अब मैं क्या करने जा रही हूँ? I'm going to define another relation which will be DI. Okay, what is DI, or what we are going to denote from DI? DI I'm going to define as the expected value. Okay, this is going to be the expected value of length. This is the expected value of the length removed by ith split. So when you're splitting the rod for the ith time, the expected value of length that has been removed, I'm going to denote it with DI. Okay, we will be denoting it with DI. For example, let me just show you. After the first split, what is going to be the value of D1? You will say 1/3. Okay, so D1 ka value kitna aa jayega? 1/3. Let me just write it over here. So D1 I will be getting 1/3. What do you say about D2? After second split, what is the mean value of length removed? So second split ka matlab hua ye wala. So you will be removing the length here 1/9. Or the second case mein you will be removing the length 1 by 9. So I can say 2 by 9 divided by 2 is the average or the mean value that has been removed, right? So 1 by 9. Similarly, when you evaluate D3, जब आप D3 को evaluate करते हो तो D3 भी इसी तरह से evaluate होगा. मगर D3 means after the third split, so many cases are there, right? After the third split, I will say that you will be removing 1 by 27th part, right? 1 by 27th part, 4 such cases will be there. And here what we are removing is, the portion that we'll be removing will be 1 by 9. 2 such cases will be there. So total divided by 6 we will have to do. So 1 by 27, you are removing 4 times, and 2 cases are there where we are actually removing 1 by 9. Total 6 cases hai, so divided by 6. Again, I can take 2 common. It will become 3. So denominator has now become 3, but still I have to calculate. So numerator, when you evaluate it, ultimately turns out to be 5 by 81. So let me write that D3 when I calculate, it turns out to be 5 divided by 81 and so on, right? But as I told you, I actually need the relation between EI and EI minus 1. And for that only I defined DI. Why I defined DI? Because now I can write that when you need to find out the mean value of total length of the rods after ith split, obviously you are going to get it from EI minus 1, right? Just before that, what was the total expected length? From that, you are going to remove DI. The portion that has been removed is DI. So what you are now left out with is the total length of the rod after ith split. Okay, na? So ith split mein you will be using the total length expected, the mean value of the total length in the I plus 1th split. And after that, you are splitting it for the ith time. The expected value that you have removed, subtracting it from the original length or the length in I minus 1th split will give me EI. Correct? So see, I got a relation between EI and EI minus 1. But I now need to get the relation between DI and EI minus 1 or EI. Because until unless I have that relation, we will not be getting a relation in terms of E which will be comfortable to solve. So let us concentrate on DI. Now look at DI. Can I write it as EI minus 1 divided by 3I? In the ith split, what is the mean value of rod of the length that has been removed? It is nothing but 1/3 of each rod that we are getting in the I plus 1th split, right? I plus 1th split may you are getting suppose 4 rods. So you are going to consider the cases that each rod ka 1/3 portion has been removed, right? So 1/3 portion of each rod that we are getting in the I minus 1th split. Well, let me explain it to you with the help of example also, because that will help you in getting the clarity. Like if I define D1, so D1 should be 1 by 3. D1, 1 by 3 means I must write here it is E0, which is 1 divided by 3. You need to calculate D2. I know that its value is 1 by 9. I need to put I is equals to 2. So it will become E1 divided by 6. E1 divided by 6. So what was the value of E1 we were getting? 2 by 3 and divided by 6 ultimately leads me to this answer. And similarly, this also we are getting. But as I told you, I will be explaining it to you. So I'm just considering the case of D3. Okay? D3, what is the answer we should get? The value of D3 that we should get must be 5 by 81. How we are going to get it? So D3 may let me show you what all cases we have. In the third split, where is the third split? This was after the first split. This is the second split. Now, this is the third split we are talking about. This is the situation in the third split. So when you are splitting it for the third time, what is the mean value of the length that you have removed? That I need to calculate. How we are going to do that? So uske liye, first of all, you will have to go to E2. E2 का situation मैं वापस यहाँ पे आपको बना के बताऊंगी. So for D3, I'm considering the cases. So these were the 3 rods that we were getting, having the length 1 by 9, 1 by 9, and this was 1 by 3. And 2 such cases were there, right? One more case was there, so into 2 karke I'm writing here. I'm assuming the length of this rod is L1, this is L2, and this is L3. How you are going to evaluate D3? For evaluating D3, you will be writing it as either the length removed is L1 by 3, right? Or you're removing the length L2 by 3, or you are removing the length L3 by 3, right? Or again, the second situation, again, I will say that the same thing is going to repeat twice. It will be coming 2 times. It will be coming 2 times. It's absolutely fine. But now what you are going to do, you are going to divide your answer by 6. Why you are going to divide your answer by 6? Because you need the mean value. How many terms are there? Total 6 terms are there. So I need to get, or I need to divide it by 6 so that I can get the mean value. So D3 will be this thing. Now, if this is D3, then let me write it in terms of E. See what we have done. 1/3 of each portion of the rod that we were getting in the previous case. So 1/3 I have taken common. Now, you are left out with 2 times L1 plus L2 plus L3. What does it indicate? L1 plus L2 plus L3 is the total length of the rod that we are getting after the second split, right? And 2 indicates कि second case be similar tha, that's why we are getting here 2. Otherwise, suppose we had some another situation, so I would have written L1 dash, L2 dash, L3 dash. So L1 plus L2 plus L3 के साथ you will be getting L1 dash, L2 dash, L3 dash का sum. But since here same lengths are, so I have written it as twice. Coming to the denominator, now it has become 6. Okay, what was the average value of the total length of the rod after the second split we were getting? So we were actually getting it as L1 plus L2 plus L3 divided by nothing, right? This is what we were getting. The total length that we were getting, the average value that we got was L1 plus L2 plus L3 itself. So now when you divide, remove this 2, denominator you are getting 3. What we are writing here is 1 by 3 times, and then L1 plus L2 plus L3 is nothing but EI minus 1. That is E2. It is indicating E2 divided by 3. Divided by 3, D3 hai, we are getting it as 3. So I can say that this implies when you are evaluating D3, you're actually writing E2 divided by 3 multiplied by I. What we have written, the general relation that we have written for DI, it is EI minus 1 whole divided by 3I, right? So this is the recurrence relation. Now we are going to put it in the formula previously that we have written over here, and then we will get a recurrence relation between EI and EI minus 1. So what is DI? I'm going to put it over here, and then I'm going to complete my question. So let us go back. The value of DI we have evaluated. So now I'll say that this implies EI, which we wrote as EI minus 1 minus DI, can now be written as EI minus 1 minus EI minus 1 divided by 3I. In fact, you can take EI minus 1 ka factor common, and you will be left out with 1 minus 1 by 3I. Till E3 we have already calculated. I need E5. So first of all, I need E4. E4 के लिए calculation करेंगे 1 minus 1 by 12. Correct? So this is how we have to write it. Now we can say that E3 ka value we evaluated as 40 by 81. You need to multiply it with 11 by 12. So when you simplify it, you will be getting it as 110 in the numerator, while denominator becomes 243. Right? 4 se aapne divide kar diya, and you will be getting this result. But E4 is not my answer. I need to go till E5. हमें E5 evaluate करना है. So E5 को I will be writing that this is equals to E4 multiplied by 1 minus 1 by 3 into 5. That is 15. What is E4? So E4 we have 110 upon 243. You need to multiply it with 14 by 15. You need to multiply it with 14 by 15. So, okay, fine. Now you can divide it by 5. And then you can solve it. So you will be getting ultimately the answer that we are going to get here will be 308. 22 into 14 लिख लेते हैं. 308 divided by 729. So finally we can say that the expected value of total length of the rod after 5 splits is going to be equals to 308 divided by 729. Okay, so this is the answer to the question. Well, hope you enjoyed this question. So see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye.